G'day fellas, welcome to a video where we're going to be taking a look at the brand new patch that just dropped for Age of Empires 3. Now you're probably wondering, Drongo, why aren't you wearing one of your super cool hoodies that you normally wear? What's the go with this thing? And to be honest, I'm a little bit sick at the moment, lads. I've had my appendix taken out, so for anybody who isn't on the Discord, you wouldn't have seen. Over the last 5 days I've been in hospital. That's why there hasn't been too much content coming out on YouTube or Twitch. If you'd like to find out exactly what happened to me, as well as whether I made it to the top 32, then definitely head over to the Patreon. There's going to be a public video that's up there. You can go check it out. So it's not going to be on this channel. I'm just going to be posting. It's more of a personal thing. So if you'd like to go and see that, I'll leave a link down in the description. Other than that, let's get to the patch update. I understand that there's quite a few things that are going to be in here. All right, let's get into it. Let's take a look at the first thing, which is going to be game. Let's head on down there. Stability and performance fixed a multiplayer crash that would occur immediately after starting a game. This mainly occurred when it's restoring a save game. Fixed a multiplayer crash that would occur when playing a scenario. Fixed a network crash. Fixed a rare issue where units' buildings would flicker. Fixed an issue where a unit's animation would flicker when shot by artillery. Fixed a rare issue where settings and progression were reset after closing and restarting the game. So all nice little changes. Great to see that they're still cleaning up the game. There's still obviously a fair few bugs in the Definitive Edition. Glad to see that they're fixing it up. Take a look at the graphics. Fixed a graphical glitch that would occur when the battleship unit dies. I'm glad that they talk about the battleship unit. It's the big boy. If you haven't seen that already, it's quite large and definitely in charge. Let's take a look at the UI and see what we've got for that. Added player numbers to the game setup page, the in-game score panel, the chat window, etc. That's cool. I wonder if that means that if it's game setup page. Oh, we'll have to explore that. Added a game summary panel, both in-game and post-game, that displays information on the current map and game settings. Cool. Move multiplayer pause information. Who paused, and their pause count. The in-game score panel now only shows icons for the player's individually owned trading post rather than the entire team. That is a great change. Fixed an issue where UI elements did not appear while taking control of the hill in a King of the Hill game. Fixed an issue with non-English languages. Fixed an issue with a card panel UI where the deck selection preview would remain visible after... Oh, that's good for the United States. That was an annoying bug. Fixed an issue with the card panel where invalid UI might be displayed when switching from one player's home city to view another's. Fixed an issue... that is something that actually comes up with the USA again. Yep. Fixed an issue where accessibility narration would not probably work with UI tooltips. Okay. Fixed a number of minor issues. Made improvements to accessibility narration. Fixed an issue where the bonus XP trickle rate from gift ceremony would show incorrect values when below 1 per second. Remove the redundant password enabled checkbox. Okay, that's good. I'm glad because you could type in a password when you were setting up a multiplayer game. Like I would set the multiplayer or the password of my lobby. But if you didn't actually click the button, people could just join it. So you could type in like your long password, but you had to click the password button to enable it. It was the silliest thing. So it's good because that was redundant. I'm glad that they fixed that. Fixed an issue where changing teams in a multiplayer lobby would cause all players to be set as not ready. Hey, come on, that was definitely, that's a real thing. Fixed an issue where the incorrect flag was not shown for Tokugawa. Fixed a tooltip issue where the text was cut off in multiplayer game lobbies. Fixed an issue where overlapping text and arrows on drop-down boxes. Fixed an issue where text was clipping. There's a lot of stuff that's just been fixed. I'm not going to read through all of it because there's just so much of it. Let's get down to the gameplay. Fixed an issue where units would come stuck in buildings due to pathway points being created that would sometimes cut through buildings. Fuck yeah. Please tell me that's for trading posts. Various fixes relating to trading posts as part of a settlement. Units built by a trade post as part of a settlement will no longer spawn in the middle of that settlement if the military gather point is placed there or if the area is crowded with other units. Units built by a trading post as part of a settlement will no longer try to seek to a military gather point in that gather point is placed in the middle of the settlement. Fixed an issue where units would not be able to move when tasked to in-games... Fixed an issue where units would not move when tasked to in-games with a large number of units. Is it just me or am I going crazy? Fixed an issue where units would not move when tasked to in games with a large number of units and players. All right, we got it. Oh, did they actually fix it? Fixed an issue where units would not move when tasked to in games with a large number of units and players. They finally fixed this fucking bug. Oh my God. You know how attack move doesn't work half the time? It's because of this. It's because of this. Oh my God. And everyone fucking rejoiced. I'm so glad that I put in the brain power to find out what that actually meant. Oh, fixed an issue with the Oklahoma USA event. Okay, cool. This is huge. This is massive. This is the trading posts being fixed. So fixed an issue where some units would become stuck in buildings due to pathway points being created that would sometimes cut through buildings. So that is trading posts being fixed. Also another fix for trading posts. And finally, this is gonna be such a good quality of life. Not even quality of life, it's such a good bug fix. Like, that's literally what it is. All right, let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's get to balance. I'm so glad that this is fixed. All right, let's take a look at balance. Civilization balance. Native Embassy, captured mortars and other outlaws available at the Native Embassy can now be assigned a legacy key binding. Cool. Cards. Capitalism. Coin trickle increased from 1.5 to 1.65 coins per second. 2 ironclads. Fixed an issue which prevented this card from being sendable. Didn't realize it wasn't. Huguenots. South African Revolution. So that is enabling you to train the coureur de bars. So fixed an issue that prevented the trainable coureur de bar it enabled from being available in addition to the usual settler build limit. Oh, okay. I think what happened here is, so in the most recent patch, what they did is they made it so that like your coureur de bars and your settlers all count under the same village account. So if you are playing as the Dutch and you revolt to South Africa, you can build 30 coureur de bars, but that is included in your settler limit. So you can only build up to 60 settlers. So the South African Revolution just became pointless. It's like, sure, you get a third factory, but you know it's pretty useless other than that. So that's a good change. I think that's what that is. Fix an issue that prevented the trainable coureur de bar it enables from being available in addition to the usual settler build limit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Cool. All right, well, that's a good change. I don't know if that necessarily makes South Africa Revolution still strong. I think in team games it definitely has a place. I don't know. After when the bug initially occurred, obviously everyone was like, well, South Africa's useless now. I think there's definitely still a place for South Africa. I still think South Africa is going to be viable. All right, let's move on. So we've got the Haudenosaunee, the I just see everybody like, you know, I always read the comments on YouTube and I see people saying, you know, just put in the effort and just say it. Like, you're offending people by not saying it. It's hard for me to say, man. This is a hard word. Haudenosaunee. The Haudenosaunee. Renegade French now properly delivers veteran cuirassiers as intended instead of the previously unupgraded cuirassiers. Okay, so that's a great change for them. That's going to put them at quite a strong point. They're already quite decent. The fact that they're getting... This isn't really a buff. This is more of a fix. But on water maps especially, that's really going to make their timings quite strong around the 11 to 12 minute mark. And let's take a look at the Incas. Inca War Chief now correctly receives 50% hit points, 50% damage upgrade when reaching the commerce age. Hey, come on, fellas. That was intended, right? Surely. So there was an unintentional bug where the Incan War Chief just wouldn't get shadow teched at all. It would just remain the exact same HP when it reached the second age. So it's good to see that got fixed. Portuguese now begin the game with 250 food and 200 wood, down from 350 food and 200 wood. So this is obviously targeting the 1010. Okay, this is a great change. This is a change in the right direction. But I'm for anybody unfamiliar, Portuguese are definitely on the stronger side. I would say that they are probably one of the strongest civilizations in the game right now, just because of the 1010. But I think in saying that this isn't necessarily the right way to do it. Because the issue with the 1010 isn't actually the speed that they get to age up. And like 50 foods difference for 10 villages isn't a lot. That's like maybe 4 seconds of gathering, maybe 5 seconds of gathering. I'd have to math it out. But it's not a huge amount of gathering. The main issue is this 200 wood. They can just drop down a TP at the beginning of the game. Even if they're going 1010 on water or 1010 on land, they still drop the TP down at the beginning of the game. And it powers through their shipments. They can hit so many back-to-back shipments just because of that starting TP. I feel like the wood is the issue here, not the food. But look, nonetheless, it's still a really good change. It's addressing a lot of the power that the Portuguese have got in the early game, and that's definitely something that needs to be addressed. So I'm really glad to see that. Other options that you have are like potential scaling. They've obviously got a faster gather rate when it comes to food as well. I'd be curious to see how much this affects it, but I would probably suspect it's not going to be a lot. You know, it's 5 to 6 seconds, which in the early game is still a decent amount. But it's not going to be overly enough to, you know, they're still going to be the strongest civ on water. They're still going to be incredibly good on ATP maps. I don't think we're going to really see them fall out of the meta just from this small change. But I've been wrong before. Now let's take a look at the United States. United States, fix a missing description for the meeting house in the American tech tree. General, kill XP, reduced from 100 to 45. Thank God. Oh my God. And reduce the ransom cost from 150 down to 100. This is amazing. This is really, really good. So the general, for whatever reason, I mean, I know what reason it is. It's because he's got more health than the European explorers. So they gave him 100 kill XP. But you got to think about it, right? Like, let's compare him to the Haudenosaunee explorer. The Haudenosaunee explorer gives a health aura, okay? Now, obviously, the general's got the flag, but that's on a cooldown, okay? And it's on a ridiculously long cooldown. It's like a 3-minute cooldown. And then, so there's that. And then the Haudenosaunee explorer gets like a ridiculous health pool. By like the third age, it's got like 1500 health. It's got a crack shot, which can kill like 5 units in Age 3. It's ridiculous. And you're telling me that's the same kill experience as this, like, for America? Come on. That's a really good change. That is definitely a change in the right direction. This is also really good because one of the things that you do when you're playing as the United States is you buy back your general. So this is a really, really good change. Great to see this as well. Let's have a look. Upgrades, Oregon Trail, reduce wagon hit points bonus from 100% down to 25%. This is a great change. Really, really good change. One of the things that we do with the United States, we take Oregon Trail, we just spam some wagons, and then you just put them out there. You know, you can get them for real cheap. You get you do the Oregon Trail, and then you ally with the Cree. Sorry, it's the Cree. I apologize. All the people out there, don't get offended, don't get upset. I've called them the Cree for like 15 years. I'm just calling them it's the Cree. So you get that bonus, and then you get the what is it? There's that card where it's like plantations and mills. The cost gets reduced in Age 1. That card. So you get that as well, and you can just like spam these like insanely tanky wagons for like 100 wood each. It's crazy. Inspiring Flag, reduce cooldown from 180 seconds to 160 seconds. This is a really good change. Really, really good change. It definitely needed some sort of change like that. This is going to help them out a lot in the early game. And it's going to mean when you do a bad flag that you're forgiven 20 seconds sooner. Cards, Bear Flag Revolt, reduce the number of Honcho the Pet grizzly bears from 7 to 6. Was it really that strong? What? I don't think I ever saw this or, even used it myself. I never saw it at all. So really curious to see that got nerfed. Honcho nerfed. There you go. Honcho was too strong. And Spanish immigrants. Increased tertios levied from pikeman patrol from 5 to 6. This is a good change. That's where it needs to be. Standard map set. Oh my god, I've never seen more beautiful words. Removed Arctic territories. Oh, thank god. Oh, I hate that map so much. This map was incredibly frustrating for me, like especially as like an ex-Sweden main. You have 1,500 coin mines like all over the map, right? And you can't even build on 2 of them because like they don't sit on snow, they sit on ice. So you can't build torps around them. So you can't expand to those. You can just mine them. And then like the torps that you build in your base, they're going to be extracting 500 less coin. So you're already down. And then like the coin mines on the bottom side of the map, you can only build 1 coin mine on like you can only build 1 torp that spawns on the coin mine in the middle. And then you can't build like, so if your opponent just takes control of like the 2 middle coin mines, you're basically restricted to 3 coin mines that you can build torps on. And those coin mines last for like, for 3/4 of the time that a normal coin mine would last. Anyway, it's just a terrible map. It's like, I'm sure the design isn't that bad, but like you can't wall it yourself in either. It's just, honestly, no, I'm saying it. The design's not good. But speaking of not good design, we've also got adding the Great Plains and Himalayas is now back. Great to see Himalayas back in the map pool. I do love Himalayas. I love Great Plains as well, just for old time's sake. Team maps is also getting Great Plains, and land map sets is always also getting Great Plains. Map balance? They changed map. Oh my god. Oh my god. Finally. Oh my god. Okay. We're not going to look at Amazonia. We're not going to look at Andes Upper. This is a treaty map. Actually, let's have a look just quickly. Improved map load time. Slightly enlarged the map to create more room during the treaty game mode. Reduce the size of the cliffs. They literally changed all the maps. This is so good. Improve the spawning consistency of tier 2 treasures. Added tier 3. Oh my fucking god. They actually changed the maps back. Yes. Dude, Arctic territories. Bro, you can put Arctic territories back in. I don't even care now. Wild docks are still forbidden on this map. The icon is no longer removed from the village's build panel. This change will stop the buildings shifting down 1 and interfering with default grid hotkeys. There's like a really infamous clip from me on Twitch where I'm trying to build a barracks on this map and I can't because my hotkeys are all stuffed up. So I drop down a stable, I delete the stable, I drop down an artillery foundry, I delete the artillery foundry, I drop down a second stable, and then I finally drop down a racks, and I'm like, in pain at the end of it. Oh my god, look at all the changes that they've made to every single map. Fixed a rare bug that sometimes prevented the naval home city spawn point flag from spawning. Fixed an issue that could prevent town center wagons from spawning in the nomad game mode. Improved the spawning consistency of the free market. It's now always placed on the front side of the player's base. this is something that I talked about just in the most recent tournament. I'm literally like, oh, we can clearly see like the player on top has got a better spawn because his coin mine is on the backside and his market is on the front side. So it means like his opponent's going to have to burn through the market on the front side and his villagers are going to be safe because they're on the backside. Like, why should that be a thing? Why should that be a thing? But this is exactly why it shouldn't be a thing. It's so great to see that this is something that they're doing. The markets are now orientated towards the player's front of the base, so it's fairer for both players. This is so good. Great Plains is back. Let's have a look. The deeply cherished Great Plains map has undergone some major under-the-hood changes. The map code has been overhauled with the goal of greatly improving how it spawns. Due to the changes below, the iconic classic has been re-added to the random map sets. Starting town centers are now placed more accurately. It is no longer possible to catch the first pass of XP from the Travois by racing to build a trading post in the middle socket at the start of the match. This fixes a prevalent balance issue with the map where one player could get the first shipment much faster than their opponents. Fixed a number of issues that would sometimes prevent native settlements and trading post sockets from spawning. Fixed an issue which would sometimes prevent starting resources from spawning. Rebalanced the huntable animals so that every player starts with a large herd of bison in front of their base and a smaller deer herd behind their base. I love it, man. This is so good. A starting front and back coin mine is now guaranteed near each player's starting town center. Previously varied between 1 and 2 and was not always the same side for each player. Yes, dude. Like many maps, they sometimes spawn slightly off to the side, but this should still be a huge overall improvement from the original map. Fix an issue that could prevent town center wagons from spawning in the Nomad game mode. Dude. Oh, it's so good. Great Plains is back. Oh my god. Hokkaido. Reduce the size of the volcano by 10%. Fix an issue that would cause starting resources to bunch together. What was that map that they need? Kamchatka. They need here. Starting town centers are now placed more accurately. Improve spawn locations. Fix an issue where sometimes they didn't change it. I really hate Kamchatka how that you get like 2 hunts of 3. Like 2 small hunts of 3 longhorns. It's so annoying. Just make it 1 hunt of 6. It's so frustrating to deal with. But like in the definitive edition where they run away so quickly, if you don't herd them and kill them immediately, they will be gone in 60 seconds. You guys have seen the movie. You know what happens. Korea, altered? Why does that not look spelt correctly? Dude, after my surgery, am I going crazy? I just can't read. Maybe I got dyslexia after my my surgery. Who knows? I did have like anesthetic, so maybe it's probably possible. I'm gonna Google that. All right, I'll do that off stream though. I'll do that off YouTube video. All right, let's keep looking. Altered huntable animal placement rules to improve overall spawn consistency and balance on Korea. This is really, really good. So sometimes you would literally get two maps or 2 spawns of deer on your side. So this is a really good change. New England. Okay, improve map load time. Starting town centers are placed more accurately. Fix an issue which would prevent some players spawning on the map. Fix an issue sometimes prevented an in-base starting huntable animals from spawning when playing a team game. This happened to me multiple times playing the definitive edition on team games on New England, so good to see. Like, you would literally have to go to your neighbor's hunt. It was so stupid. Adjusted the order in which New Zealand's... Dude, it's happening, I'm telling you. Adjusted the order in which New England's map features are generated and tweaked some under-the-hood values and constraints to improve overall consistency and balance. Hopefully this is targeted at the treasures, because you get like tier 3 treasures that are in your base. And it's so silly that your opponent gets like 30 coin and like 40 XP, and you literally have a settler and 2 80 food treasures in your base. It's ridiculous. That is really, really good. Okay. I'm not going to look at any of the other ones unless I see some big ones. Nothing really. Oh, Siberia, this is a good map. Adjusted how in-base starting resources spawn to improve consistency and overall map balance. That is really good. The starting coin, hopefully they make it so that the herd doesn't wander into your starting resources. That's kind of annoying. Your settlers are going to pick up resource crates and they're walking in and out. Like in sometimes on Siberia, you have to just shoot like a Sega so your villagers can walk unimpeded to the crates. The starting coin mine and tower, which spawns next to it, are now placed at a more consistent distance from each player's town center and will always appear on the front half of each player's base. This is really good. I'm so glad this has been changed. This is exactly what I've been asking for. Less RNG, more predictability, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is so freaking good, man. Each player's first nearby hunt of herd and can now be properly herded. Oh, there we go. So the in-base Sega, so there's like 12 of them that are all together, but they're not all attached in a herd. They're all just individually placed. So now they're in a herd, which means that if you shoot one, they will all move. This is good. I wonder, have they changed this on Mongolia? Let's have a look and see Mongolia. No, they haven't. So Mongolia's hunt spawns the same way. The in-base hunt spawns the exact same way. So they haven't fixed it there. Fixed an issue that would sometimes prevent players from spawning onto the map in games with unbalanced teams. Adjusted spawn location. Okay, cool. Really, really good changes. Yukon changes as well. Starting town centers are now placed more accurately and no longer spawn so closely to the edge of the map. That's all I wanted to see. That is all I wanted to see. That is a really, really good change for Yukon. Just that, to me, that's like you can bring it back into the map pool now. That is so good. Also, under the hood improvements to the treasure placement code to improve the fairness of where easy, medium, and hard treasures. Why didn't we see that for New England? New England is like the biggest issue. That is the biggest issue with New England. I mean, other than the ponds, but I mean, the ponds are kind of like what makes New England, New England. All right, lobbies and matchmaking. General, fixed an issue with multiplayer scenarios when the AI personality would default to Spanish rather than the intended one when changing a slot from human to AI. Fixed an issue where player civ would default to Spanish when a client leaves a lobby. Modding, fixed an issue with the scenario editor. Fixed an issue with the scenario editor again. And ongoing. Pathfinding issues. The team believes it has fixed the root cause of various pathfinding issues, including units becoming stuck in buildings, unit groups becoming stuck in trading posts, livestock moving into trading posts, making them impossible to gather. Hold on. As always, our team continues to track issues. Here is a brief update from our production team with a look at some of the things they're still working on. So I don't think this is talking about the issues that are in this patch. So you still might run into this. Attack move, crashes in treaty. This is great to see. A lot of people have been complaining about crashes in treaty. I saw a big forum post that specifically said, you know, a lot of people are leaving the game and this is why. And it was because of crashes in treaty. And it's really hard. You know, you spend 40 minutes building an emotional connection with your base. You don't want it to crash before you get to lose it or before you get to, you know, get those juicy pixel points from your opponent. So it's understandable. It's understandable. While additional pathfinding investigation work is planned in addition, the team has requested that those, this capital I is throwing me off, that those encountering stuck units reach out with additional information. So it sounds like I think that it's actually talking about this patch. It's saying, you know what, units becoming stuck in buildings, unit groups becoming stuck in trading posts, and units, like this has now been fixed. Because it says the team believes it has fixed the root cause of the various pathfinding issues. And then they're saying down here, additional pathfinding investigation work is planned. So if anyone still encounters it, please let us know. That's what they're saying. That's huge. That is so big. That is amazing. I'm so impressed. Well, look, overall, I think this is an amazing patch. Even though, you know, there's not a huge amount of balance changes, we don't see any nerfs to the Spanish logistician or anything like that. We see a buff to America. We see a nerf to the Portuguese. And I think that's exactly what we needed to see. They've also removed Arctic territories and they've added Great Plains. So I'm pretty confident that we can say this is the best patch to date. All right, probably not the best patch to date. You know, there's been a lot of good patches, but this has got some huge fixes. I'm so happy with this. This is it might not look like a big patch, but this is a massive patch. Honestly, the amount of work that went into those maps, I'm not sure who has done all of that, but a huge shout out to them because this is so much work. You guys might think that this is easy. This is not easy. This is so freaking hard. It's so, what's the word? Tedious. It is so tedious to try and fix all this up. So really, really good stuff because this is what makes the game at its core more competitive, and a more competitive game is going to attract a more competitive player. People are going to look at this game a lot more seriously than, you know, what they have in the past. If I spawn into a game and, you know, and my opponent has got 380 food treasures on their side of the map, and I've got a native warrior, a Finnish surgeon, and and 40 coin, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm getting a bit off topic, fellas. I hope you've enjoyed the video. There's going to be plenty more content planned. Obviously, we missed out a lot of content over the last couple of days. I'm going to make sure that we catch you guys up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.